Hello and welcome in. It's StatATL. It is January 6th. And just hopped into Underdog's Bigger Mitten. Actually drew the one seed. The one hole. And going to let you watch along as I draft in the Bigger Mitten contest. It is a 1,700 entrant contest, 100K to first place. And I probably only do one or two of these. So just going to let you draft along. As you see, follows a slightly easier to advance structure after the first round. It's 1 of 6, followed by 1 of 4, 1 of 4, 18-person final. The rest of the scoring is as you'd expect, just like all the other contests, and advance rates are similar. So let me actually turn on another light. So this board starts off Puka Nacua, JSN, CMC, Drake May. Goes a little earlier than typical. Josh Allen to the 5-hole, Barkley and AJ Brown. It's a turn. 6-hole goes Barkley, AJ Brown, setting up for some eagles. I would assume Josh Allen's going to take the James Cook. And then I'm going to be curious to kind of see what happens here with Drake May. Does he go Devontae Adams? Does he go Kyron Williams? Where does he go in the NFC? Or does he stay in his own conference and grab Travion Henderson here? Oh, he grabs ETN. It's an interesting pick. You know, they would play each other in the second round if both teams advanced. So I don't particularly love that pick for Drake May. So it's going to come to me. I'm going to get to build a Ram stack here. And I think this is kind of the dream. I'm going to try to push Kyron. If I don't get Kyron, I'll happily just take Blake Corum later in the draft. But I don't think this is a spot where I want to try to push Stafford. I think that probably is the more prudent push, would be to try to push Stafford there. I'd rather just secure the stack since this is likely my one of 2 entries in this contest. So 2-hole here goes JSN, Nico Collins, Kyron Williams. In the 3-hole, we got CMC, Kittle, Stephon Diggs. 4-hole adds Travion Henderson to go with Drake May and ETN, so still no NFC pieces from the 4-hole. 5-hole, we're going to be curious to see he grabs Devonta Smith here. This is still going to be Jalen Hurts. Be curious to see what he does here. Does he go Dallas Goedert, or does he push Goedert for an AFC piece, which is probably what I would do? I'd probably go Jacoby Myers here, potentially. He goes Shakir. It's not really a Super Bowl I'd want to show up to without Cook or Allen if it's Buffalo, Philly. But again, it's an 18-person final. So just kind of getting to the final with a few live pieces. In a contest this size with only 18 people in the final, this is not one where you have to have 5 players in the Super Bowl in order to win. Four-hole now takes Sutton, adds a 4th AFC piece. Not sure I love his draft strategy. Jacoby Myers there. All right, here I'm going to grab Blake Corum. I don't want to push him. I want to secure a running back here in the Super Bowl if this is the Rams. For my AFC opponents, I'm going to grab Ramondre Stevenson here with the intention of at the next turn taking one of Hunter Henry or Kayshon Boutte if either of them make it back to me at this turn. And then we'll kind of see how the room breaks out. The two hole here has JSN. Kyron adds Nico Collins and Woody Marks go along with Kyron, potentially trying to set up that Seattle-Houston Super Bowl. Challenge with that for me is that Seattle's got that first round bye, and Houston, while they do play Pittsburgh, like they're just not an offense that generally scores a lot of points. So it's going to be hard for him to advance out of round one in a 1 of 6 advance. 3 hole here, CMC, Kittle, Purdy, and then he's got Diggs and Jacoby Myers on the other side. 4 hole adds his first NFC piece with Dallas Goedert to go along with 4 AFC pieces in May, Etienne, Henderson, and Sutton. 5 hole Allen, Cook, Kincaid to go along with Devonta Smith and Josh Jacobs. Would expect him to go Christian Watson, and he does. 6 hole has got 3 Eagles with Barkley, Brown, Hurts. And then it's got a bit of a spattering here between Shakir, Harvey, and BTJ. So this is definitely going to be Hunter Henry for me, no doubt. The decision here is, do I add Chicago pieces to this? Or do I take Booty? I think that to me here, the choice is, do I grab DeAndre Swift or Luther Burden here? I think I'm going to go Burden. I'd be okay with I'd be okay if I wanted to build a few Bears here to add Benungai. Let's just add the Bears to the queue just to kind of have them. Come on. I don't know that this is a build that I'm going to add a Rams tight end, where if I was in a lotto contest where, if this is the gauntlet where it's 800 person final or 500 person final, I think 800 is, I think 816 is DraftKings. I think if I'm in DraftKings, obviously, like I'm filling that out. If I'm in the 500 person gauntlet, like I want a full, I want as many people in the Super Bowl. With this being an 18-man Super Bowl, I don't know that it's as important to show up with 7 or 8 pieces. I think the goal is just to get there. 18-man final, get there with 3, 4 or more live pieces. I think that the hardest part is just advancing out of round 1. So the 2 hole is dead in this draft, in my opinion. He's got 1, 2, 3. He's got 4 people on bye already through 7 rounds, and then Nico Collins, Woody Marks, who don't score a ton of points to begin with. It's going to be tough for him to advance out of here. The 4 hole adds Bo Nix to go along with Drake May. I don't particularly love this build. He's got one-offs with Goddard and Jennings for NFC pieces. Six hole adds Omari and Hampton, give him another running back option. Also another Super Bowl to build along with Philly. Kind of got a bit of a smattering there between 2 Jags and then a Buffalo piece, a Denver piece, and a Charger. has the option to probably add like QJ. The 9-10 turn will probably be there. It's an interesting pick here for the 3-hole. I think if I'm him, I'm taking booty. And he does. Okay, so the question here for me, I think we're going to add a second stack here. Do I push Caleb Williams? I mean, I definitely want to take. Who do I definitely want to take here? No, let's take Caleb Williams here. And then I'm okay with trying to push Kyle Monangai. It's a little bit of a risk since I am a little weak at running back. Probably could have gone Monangai there over Colston Loveland. But I like giving myself two options here to play New England. We've got this Rams stack, and we've got Chicago stack. Let's just kind of see how this room shakes out. If Philly were to beat San Francisco, again, they are 4.5-point favorite. This would play out where the Rams and the Bears could meet in the NFC Championship game, and obviously the other side of this build is two Patriots. I think there could be some consideration here to add a third Patriot to give me a little bit more options. So I think potentially this could be Pop Douglas is somebody that we could consider as a last spot. DJ Moore, I'm not considering DJ Moore. Why I've got Bashal Tutin in the potential queue is just for another running back option in the Super Bowl, or excuse me, for first round advancement. Also could set me up with another potential Super Bowl between the Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars, just having that one additional piece. Obviously, that's not what I would be hoping for in a build like that. Monangai does go. So I guess the question here then becomes, do I want to take another running back or do I go Demario Douglas? I think if it gets to me, I will take Bashal Tutin for an advancement piece out of the first round. Again, I don't need as many pieces in the Super Bowl. I am going to take Tutin here. I think that is the prudent play here, just as an advancement piece. And again, could get me another option in the Super Bowl. Again, not a strong one. So let's take a look here. I think the only thing we could have potentially done differently here was taking Kyle Monangai at the 9-hole and then kind of seen if we got another Bear back to us, whether that have been Loveland, whether that had been DJ Moore as an option if I wanted to add on to that. But I don't hate how this turned out. Pretty strong build if we get the Rams to the Super Bowl. I don't know that it could win if it's not New England in the Super Bowl, but if it is the Rams in the Super Bowl, having Puka, Devontae, Stafford, and Corum is a really strong start in this small of a contest. So thank you for tuning in. I guess we could talk through the other teams. I hate the second team, as we kind of talked through while we were drafting. Missing JSN, Walker, Charbonnet, Darnold in the first round. Again, this is a 1 of 6 advance. So his advancement pieces here are Kyron at running back and Woody Marks. Again, not a huge Woody Marks guy. It's got Nico Collins and Schultz to go along with CJ Stroud, and then he grabbed Ricky Pearsall here. I think there's some real injury risk with Ricky Pearsall, may not even play on Sunday. So I really don't like the 2 holes team. 3 hole goes CMC, Kittle, Purdy. On the other side, he's got Jacoby Myers, Lawrence, and Strange. I think if I'm him, I think if in this build, obviously Monangai would have benefited me. I think if I'm him, I would have taken Tootin there. He's already got Swift, and his bet is already on Jacksonville with Myers, Lawrence, and Strange. I think I'm taking Tootin there. I think that would have been a much stronger pick for him. But overall, not bad. He basically have set himself up for San Francisco, and then either Jacksonville or New England. 4 hole, again, an interesting strategy here, going May, Henderson, and that's it. Got Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton, and then just kind of a whole bunch of one-offs here. It's got ETN uncorrelated, unstacked, Goddard, Jennings, Odunze. I guess he's got Odunze and more, but can't form a Super Bowl. Can't get a 5-man Super Bowl. Not that, again, that you have to have that, but again, like, I think if it's New England and Chicago, I don't know that I think I'd rather have my team here of Burden, Caleb Williams, Loveland with Stevenson and Henry versus May and Henderson and only Odunze and DJ Moore. Like, again, I don't love the 4 team either. I think the third hole here, I think this is a strong build. I would have just made this swap for Tootin instead of Monangai for him. I think that would have been a better build for him. 5 hole, we got Josh Allen, James Cook, a really coveted start, adds Dalton Kincaid to that, and then kind of plays into a couple of NFC options with Devonta Smith on his own, Jacobs and Christian Watson with Reed. So this is really a Buffalo, Green Bay kind of best bet, and he's added Brandon and Brandon Cooks to his Bills build. I think that's kind of thin, candidly, in a tournament this size. I don't know that you need these like really thin late round picks, personally. Like, Brandon Cooks is unlikely to give you a score in the first 2 rounds when it's the hardest to advance. And again, showing up to the final, you may be the only Allen Cook team, which is where all the Buffalo points are going to be scored if it is a Buffalo Super Bowl. And then the 6 hole goes Barkley, Brown, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts. So starts it off with a strong Philly build. Doesn't add a second quarterback, and adds Shakir as a one-off, Harvey as a one-off, BTJ and Parker Washington kind of complete a 5-man Super Bowl for him. Hampton and QJ complete a Super Bowl for him with Philly, and then Tet McMillan as an advancement piece. So, obviously I'm biased. I do really like my draft, and I do like M. Hoffman's here in the 3 hole. So let me know in the comments what you think, and smash that like button on the way out. And thanks for tuning in.